hotel. Check out, might give her one thou, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, it ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
And New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's head up to Nashville for the Titans home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception. But this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener. And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time as we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Mariota now to throw on first down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw Mariota. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. And the offensive starters for Tennessee.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Mariota. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over first and 10.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check 50. Check 50. Hey, switch gears. Check. Crash.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A former Volunteer back in Tennessee, it's Alvin Kamara. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Alvin Kamara, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll come up second and 6 now from the 24. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Mariota. Open man is Switzer, complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here I come again. 8, 29, check 24. Hatch it. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
54. I got it. Out, 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 out. 2-4. Check. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Shoot. 36.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one and also a Texan first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. We'll look now at our starting defense. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
Throwing on second and 8. Watson. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch twist. Check. Say. Switch.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Check hot. Shoot. Undercrush. Open the floor. Hey, let's go.
On first down, Hines. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans push further out in front. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Second and 5 now. Mariota, he'll get this one to Switzer. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Titans, gain of 12. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing, Mariota. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous.
And the pressure gets to him again. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mariota will need a big play after this. Sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. from the shotgun. It's Mariota. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter up in Minneapolis. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Switch up, hey, 31! Shift. Sponge, no. Hey, check 24, watch 24.
On second down now, it's Hines, and he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives, and that helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
54, right there. 54.
On first and 10, Watson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Black. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Titans. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Another try after the first down sack. Mariota.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So we reach halftime in what's been a fair... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On second and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans.
Don't get nervous. Mike 54. Mike 54. Push him back. Push him back. Check 31.
Third and long, it's Watson. He's going to air one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 28 yards. So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, first and 15. Taylor, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here. So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a third and very long. Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All day, dog. Hey, alert 3. Showing it. Watch out.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 27 yards there, a first down.
Get ready.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Texans push further out in front.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mariota nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. On now is the Titans punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is brought in at the 21.
Let's go!
Back now in Nashville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 41, Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Tight dog. Check 26, check 26. Check. Motion.
They'll run on first down. Hines. The 20. A big-time play there for the Texans. 44 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 55. Watch the run. He's soft, baby. That's baby soft. Shoot. He's coming. Check.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Mariota. And Woods has it complete. Pushing his way through.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Titans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Mariota to Switzer over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Mariota to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Mariota.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
54. Mike's 54. Watch twist. Watch twist. Time to go.
They run again with Hines. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Kill. Alert flare. Time to go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch that. Check, Mike. Off. Mike, 54. All day, punk. Mike, 59.
Throwing now, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now it's Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Mariota looking sideline, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible lead.
And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Mariota now. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch the eye. Deuce. Alert. Check safety. No. Off. Shit. Watch the ship. Hey.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Texans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.